Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Build a routine with Ollie that supports your wellness needs, like getting your daily vitamins and minerals with Ollie's multi-gummies, or keeping your mood upbeat with all the vitamin D in Hello Happy. Give your gut health some support with probiotics, and wake up feeling refreshed after taking Ollie Sleep. Do wellness on your terms. Find Ollie at a Walmart or Target near you or at ollie.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
To realize the future America needs, we understand what's needed from us. To face each threat head on. We've earned our place in the fight for our nation's future. We are Marines. We were made for this.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated T for Teen.
The Eagles win. The Eagles win. The Eagles win. Guys, welcome to the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, found on all social media platforms at Beard A Knowledge. Guys, the Eagles hang on in the Snow Bowl to defeat the Los Angeles Rams 28-22 to create a date with our division rival Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship game next Sunday for a chance to play for the Super Bowl, guys. I'm beaming in excitement. I'm happy. It was a stressful, tough, hard-fought game. There was some good. There was some bad. There were some injuries. There were some heroic plays. There was a little bit of everything in this Eagles game. And we're here on Overreaction Monday, the 20th of January, to overreact to it all. I'm recording this Sunday night, literally 20 minutes after the final play of the game. And let's dive right into it. First and foremost, shout out to Saquon Barkley for another 200-plus yard rushing performance against the Los Angeles Rams, carrying the ball 26 times, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 27 receiving yards on 4 carries. Fantastic performance by him. A huge win for me, betting him to get 2 touchdowns in the game as well. But I just want to make sure I start out with him because there's a lot of more important things that we're going to cover, so I just wanted to shout him out. Look, the weather was awful. The snow, especially in the second half, played a major factor in the outcome of the game. Side note, I've been very adamant very frequently over the years saying I hate snow games. I hate weather elements affecting the outcome of the game. The Eagles are a much better team than the Los Angeles Rams, and the weather made it a lot closer than it was. Just put a damn dome on every single stadium or a retractable roof. Please, can we? Can we not have this happen anymore? We don't need it. I know it's going to be unpopular opinion, but that is just my thoughts on that. 2 big issues coming out of the game that we're going to have to monitor throughout the week is obviously Jalen Hurts' knee. He got rolled up and bent backwards, and he definitely was limping and hurting and struggling after that incident in the second half of the football game. Something to monitor for sure. And Quinion Mitchell got hurt, his shoulder, hitting Matthew Stafford early. Actually, it was the first drive of the game. Did not return. Something to monitor there as well, going up against Washington and Terry McLaurin. It's something that we are going to have to pay close attention to because while Darius Slay and Cooper DeJean held their own today in the snow, Isaiah Rodgers, who also got hurt late in the game, and Keely Ringo and the rest of the secondary would be at a huge loss without Quinion Mitchell out there. So obviously, yeah, there's the third injury of Isaiah Rodgers as well to monitor throughout the week. Was it pretty? No, it was not on offense. Jalen Hurts was sacked quite frequently by our offensive line. Something I talked about all week. He was sacked 7 times, several times taking us out of field goal range in the game. Some of it was on him. Some of it was on the Eagles' interior offensive line, not pass protection. The offensive line as a whole, not pass protecting well. And some of it was on, just great defense from the Los Angeles Rams. You got to give credit to Jarrett Verse, who talked a lot of trash this week and came up big with multiple sacks and quarterback hits throughout the game. They came to play on defense there, the Rams, and they did their thing. Some of the problems offensively, passing, Jalen Hurts, who, again, wasn't pretty, but he was 15 of 20 for 128 yards, no touchdowns. Again, no turnovers. But he had several balls, especially 2 big ones, to A.J. Brown that were dropped. I think there were 3 drops overall, 2 of them by A.J. Brown. Would totally have changed the outcome and the process of this game playing out. So it's something that, everyone's going to talk about him taking the safety, which you can't take that safety. He had Dallas Goedert over the middle on that safety, but also, he had, I forget which defensive lineman of the Rams staring him dead in the face. So, Jalen Hurts will get criticized for 128 yards. But again, when you throw or when you run for almost 300 yards as a team, because Jalen Hurts ran for 70 yards in this game as well, I think we can let Jalen Hurts slide. Obviously, the knee hampered him. Dallas Goedert had a couple big catches in the game. Devontae Smith did as well. A.J. Brown had 2 catches for 14 yards on 7 targets, the leading target guy for the Eagles offense there. But it didn't matter because Saquon Barkley dominated the game. And then on defense, Jalen Carter, Zach Bond, and company just did not stop all game long. Jalen Carter had one hell of a game, 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, a pass defended. He was all over the place all game long. Zach Bond, he literally stopped the Rams on a drive entirely on his own. Oren Burks had a bad missed tackle early in the game, but played really well throughout the rest of the game. Darius Slay had he had 3 pass breakups, and they were all big time at big moments. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson made some big plays in the backfield throughout the game. The defense just played really, really well considering the situation. I will say I was a little concerned with Vic Fangio's game or play calling that let the Rams get back into the game. We go up 13 with about 6 minutes left in the game after the big touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. And we just let the Rams march right down the field in 2 minutes to get within 1 score. And we almost gave up, the game-winning play. But Jalen Carter came up huge with a big sack there late in the game to seal it. So, the defense has to work better. But I'm going to let a lot of the duds and a lot of the bad play slide this week because of the weather. The footing at the link was terrible. The ability to cut, stop, to play defense, to run, to catch. Everything was bad. The Rams struggled with it as well, obviously. The wide receivers, Kieran Williams with a big fumble, basically because of the surfaces and the wet football. So it was what it was. Obviously, one other big deal was Jake Elliott. He had 3 huge clutch field goals throughout the game, 3 for 3, continuing to never miss a field goal in the playoffs for the Eagles. But he did miss 2 extra points. Now, the second one was in late in the game when the weather was really, really iffy. But the first one, the weather was pretty good early in the football game on the opening drive. So Jake Elliott is still an issue. You can't do anything about it. You're not going to move on from it at this point of the season. It's the championship game next week. But it's going to be something to continue to monitor this week and in the games going forward. Our confidence level in Jake Elliott just isn't there. Again, Jalen Hurts' knee, I'm really concerned about. We had the ball on the goal line late in the game. We kicked the field goal. But we had opportunities, at least 2 opportunities to tush push, and they chose the first time not to, and on the second time, there was a false start. When you're not running the tush push, that means Jalen Hurts' knee is bothersome to an extent. So it's something, again, to be concerned about. I'm sure we will not learn anything from Nick Sirianni, honestly, until Wednesday afternoon after they practice. But we'll see how it goes. The team came out banged up, and Washington had a huge game, pretty much blowing out the Detroit Lions on Saturday night. So it's going to be a battle, but it's in Philly. And I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but the same thing goes for Washington since we went 1-1 with them. I take our chances against the Commanders with home field advantage next week as long as our guys are good to go. But again, the Eagles won 28-22 on the backs of Saquon Barkley, Jalen Carter, Zach Bond, and the rest of this team. We are on to the championship game next week, guys, and it's going to be a jam-packed week right here on the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network and on the STT Sports Network, where I was trending in the AM. I got the link down below in the description, so click it, subscribe, and tune in for 90 minutes of live opinions being taken on this Eagles team, Eagles game, and the rest of the week. I'm going to line up the guests. I'm going to do it all. So, guys, with that being said, go Birds and bubbles up.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're going to love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated T for Teen.